Good morning. Mothers and fathers of Pickle, Ohio. I have a special message for you, and I charge you with something. Have you ever been to the Pickle Library, and do your kids read? These two things connect and are very important. The Pickle Library was founded in 1797 and has over 100,000 books. That's a lot. But what does this have to do with you? An article on My Own Tutor found that reading affects verbal communication, written communication, intellectual capacity, and critical thinking abilities positively. It improves these skills. So, I think we can level that every one of you have been super duper stressed out at one point with your kids and work or school all at once. You thought you were going to lose your mind, you were going to rip your hair out, and your kids were thinking, what is wrong with mom and dad? They are going crazy. Oh my word. Well, Dr. David Lewis, a cognitive neuropsychologist, did a study and found that reading reduces our level of stress by 68%. That is good for all of you who have the whole world crashing down around your shoulders. So, when you are feeling stressed, grab your favorite book, kick back, get away from the kids for a minute, even if you have to hide in the closet, and read. Reading, get a book that takes you to the Bahamas, where you've always dreamed of going on vacation, and read. Read, read, read. Reading helps you relax. Kids can start at a young age reading, no matter how young they are, even if you're reading to them. If you start at a young age, you can teach them to find an outlet, and all in all, reading keeps the peace. Also, reading not only helps you relax, but it also makes you strong. As we know, many athletes, they work out. They work out their muscles, they go to the gym, they lift weights, they pump iron, and they get strong. And that's to help them succeed. We can also do this for our children. We can set them up for success by putting a book in their hands. Brain power is possible, and it is something that can be attained and increased with time. And this is done through reading. The official journal of the American Academy of Neurology came out with a study that summarized that the more you put into your brain, the more you will get out of it. So that means if you're consuming book after book about the Civil War, about the wildlife in Africa, about economics, about whatever you want, about astronomy, even if it's about unicorns on Saturn, it's inputting information into your brain. It's putting data in. It's working out your brain muscles. Reading even, another study showed that reading reduces the chance of Alzheimer's and just mental activity, working those brain muscles. And everybody wants their kids to succeed, of course. It's worth it in the long run, and reading is not only fun, but beneficial. Encourage your kids to read. Take them to the library and get them a bunch of books. Get a library card if you don't have one, and get them on that path and set the example. Children follow in the footsteps of their parents. Lastly is imagination. So, I was not born yet when my dad and mom got married. That's a picture of them right there. Now, I've seen many, many pictures of them on their wedding day. But that does not tell me what it was like when they said their vows, what my dad's expression was when my mom walked down the aisle. It doesn't tell me about how hilarious it was when my mom took the cake and smeared it all over my dad's face. I can't get that in-depth insight to the experience just by looking at pictures. It's just not going to happen. But when my dad wrote down all of his emotions during that day, or my mom explained in her own words what she felt, I had a inside track to something much deeper. So, for example, something that might be a little more helpful is a book that I have read and I really like. It's Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. As you can see, this book is really thick. It's 900 pages. It's a big book. And after I read the book, I wanted to watch the movie, of course. And so I watched the movie, and the movie is 4 hours long. It's 2 discs. It's a long movie. And after I watched it, I'm like, oh my word, they didn't even peg who Scarlett was. Scarlett is the main character of the book. When you read, it gives you such in-depth. It explains the atmosphere outside, what the weather was like. It gives you the specific emotions at each event. Where watching a movie, you wouldn't be able to get that. You would be able to see, but you wouldn't have someone telling you that the trees bloomed with flowers and the scent filled the air, or there was a skunk and it just stunk. Whatever. It gives you the in-depth. And an article on Psychology Today put it this way: reading allows for another life of the mind. It takes you somewhere else. It encourages your imagination. And it also helps you to stand and see from the perspective of others. It takes you where nothing else could. It takes you to what it was like to be a slave during the Civil War, what it was like to be there when the Berlin Wall came crashing down. So, what is the solution? Go to the library. Get a bunch of books. Grab your kids. Throw them in the car. Don't worry about the peanut butter that's smeared all over the window. Just get there, grab some books, and let them learn and strengthen their brain through reading. As Dr. Seuss put it, the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more you learn, the more places you will go. Whether that's physically or mentally, it's going places. So, imagine reading as a zucchini. You can see zucchini, but unless you taste it, you'll never know. Thanks.